I saw you. I saw you, Rabiya. I already invited you.
Hi,
Oh my
how are you?
God. Good morning.
Good morning, good evening there in Bolivia.
Thank you
How are you,
so much.
Lenka?
I am really happy. You know what? I am really excited because of this live. I waited for it so much. And my organization told me, don't you worry, we are going to talk with Rabia's organization because you're such a stunning queen and your social labor is so huge. So here we are talking, and this cannot be better.
Thank you for taking some time. And you know what, Lenka? I've been going through your feed, and you're such an amazing woman. I'm excited to meet you soon. It's like what, 2 months from now? So,
Wow.
how are you? How's the preparation so far?
Okay. I was crowned. I think it was November, right? Yeah, I think. I had like a pretty busy journey, and it has been amazing. I had the chance to work with so much talented people, and they are so passionate about not only modeling and fashion, but also about social labor and all the message we are giving to people through Miss Bolivia's Universe Crown. But how about you? How everything has been going?
So far, everything is good. I'm very excited, and it was announced that it's gonna be on May 16. I was crowned October last year, so it's quite like a long period of time to prepare. But you will never be 100% ready for a competition like Miss Universe, right? So it's
Totally.
every day. Everything is planned. Like I have scheduled for my fitness. I really need to focus with my body because you know how hard it is to achieve that Miss Universe type or model. So the thing is, I'm not into fitness way back then. I don't go to the
Whoa.
gym. I just do home exercise. But now I learned to be more patient with my body.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's the highlight of my training, of my preparation because it's never easy. It doesn't happen overnight to achieve, to see improvements. You really need to be patient. You really need to love your body, to be careful of what you eat. You can agree with that, right? It's
Of
really hard.
course.
And
It,
uh, um, may I ask, when you do your exercise, what's your focus? Are you more
I
of
like I'm a morning person. I wake up. I tend to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, like 6, 5:30.
Ooh.
I don't know why. Like I just see sunlight and I need to be up. And I'm doing boxing as I was doing like a year ago, but because of the pandemic crisis, I couldn't go anymore, and I wasn't able to box at home. I tried. I was boxing through the wall, but wasn't actually really healthy for my
Yes.
wrist. Yes. So I'm back boxing, and I go every single morning, and then sometimes a week I do like heavy lifting, but I'm
Mm,
not really into fitness too. Like I was never the type of girl that is always taking care of what she eats and what she does to look better. And right now I'm super conscious of my body and its needs because I really want to be healthy and strong. Miss Universe is such a hard competition.
that's right. And just to add to what you say, it's very hard to prepare for something as big as Miss Universe. I
Yes.
mean, all of these are amazing women who has this goal of making their country proud. So there's a pressure added to it. And now, like it's few months from now, so
Yeah,
it's
I
really
know.
happening. So
How did you reacted when you got the mail?
I was very excited. Actually, I already have an idea that it's gonna be around April or May. But I was excited when it was officially announced that it's gonna be in Miami because I've
Yeah.
always wanted to go to the US. That was my dream. And to give you a background, I'm actually a physical therapist. So my
Wow.
plan was before the pandemic, if I if Miss Universe Philippines is not for me, my plan was to apply for the US. But during the pandemic, my application got denied.
Mm,
So it's like a blessing, you know, when one door is closed, another one is gonna open for you.
totally.
I'm very much excited to see the girls. I know this is gonna be an exciting and a different type of pageant because it's happening on a pandemic.
This is happening in a pandemic, and I think the most, like the wonderfulest, the more wonderful
Yes.
thing is to be able to work for our people, because sometimes we kind of get dispersed, so like we aren't focusing on something, but right now there's so much to do and we are able to help because we have the platform, we have the support, and everyone's looking at us, and I think that's amazing. I wanted to actually ask you, how did you leave the lockdown in Philippines?
Here in the Philippines, it's like a national like lockdown. So for most of us, we're not allowed to go outside. It's just one member of our family who can go outside and go to the market just to buy some groceries. But that's it. And there's this strict protocol that, for example, if you are above or you are a senior citizen or you are 18 below, you cannot be accepted in malls. You cannot enter there. So Philippines is one of the hardly hit during this pandemic. We really have this high cases. So there were moments where even hospitals were flooded with patients of COVID, and that's really sad. My boyfriend, some of my aunties are working as nurses in the Philippines, and you know, I've seen how they struggled just to survive this pandemic. But there was a moment that everything was, you know, kind of going back to normal. But we
Yeah,
were always reminded that we should never like feel secured because there's still a virus out there. And the problem has not yet ended, but I'm very much thankful that we now have vaccines. It arrived, I think, 3 days ago. So some of our frontliners are now being vaccinated. They are the priority, of course, because their health is put into risk with this situation. So tell me, Lenka, how's the situation in Bolivia right now in terms of dealing with the pandemic?
actually, we leave the lockdown last year, but this year we have only measurements like biosecurity restrictions in order to go out until a certain hour. No parties, no congregating a lot or long groups of people into buildings or into small spaces or into closed spaces. We have all of these biosecurity protocols, but I'm afraid Bolivia is leaving the second round on COVID, and cases are going up every day, like we were in 2020 again. And it
Oh,
is really sad because, yes, as you said, medical staff has been vaccinated too. My sister got vaccinated like a week ago, and she is kind of telling me how everything's going because she's actually in a delicate situation. My father is a risky patient, and we are kind of trying to manage all of this situation. And as a beauty queen, it's actually really hard because I know you're going to be with me in this one. We have contact with a lot of people during photo shoots, during our social labor. We are always with people, and they are always want to. I mean, they always want to take pictures. They
that's true.
always want to be with you because you are an example, and that's hard because we have to take care of ourselves even harder.
I just want to share. There was this moment in which I had a homecoming. The moment I won, and of course, I really do appreciate the efforts of people going out there just to see you. But it also scares me because these people are risking their health. you know. And sometimes you really need to be a good role model. Here in the Philippines, when we go out, we wear masks and also face shield. Do you also wear face shield there in
Yes,
the
yes, we do.
So that's like the protocol here. And the good thing is almost everybody is following that rule. So for some time, the cases went down. But actually now, according to my boyfriend who works in a COVID ward, cases is starting to get worse again.
Okay. Well, I hope everything gets better. I know we as a whole humanity, are going to get through this, and I know we are going to keep and carry all of those that actually left, but with this huge lesson of being able to cooperate and to be resilient, right?
That's
Because that's
true.
what it's about.
And just to add to what you said, you know what? Humanity was restored during the lockdown. There were a lot of people who were privileged enough to actually help those people in need. Because here, Lenka, in the Philippines, we have this public vehicle called the jeepney, Pinoy jeepney. So it's like a mini bus which can contain about 16 to 18 people. So
Wow.
when there was a lockdown, they were hardly hit because there's no people allowed to go outside and travel. So there were a moment where they would, write something in posters that they need food, they need help. And it really crushed my heart to see these
Yeah.
people doing that. And they don't have benefits, they don't have any savings. So during the lockdown, there was this different, even private people, private organization trying to help one another. So there's still a beauty in the situation. People are uplifting that spirit of generosity in moments like this. And I hope even there's no pandemic, we will still continue to help one another. We really need that. We really need that kind of culture in us.
Yes. Like this cooperating and always silver lining view
Yes.
culture. Oh, that's something I really liked. Oh, thank you so much, Rabiya, for this. That's true. That's true. I loved it. And we were talking about this while we were messaging, because for the ones that didn't know, we talked before this live. And we
Yes.
have a special surprise for you because we want you to know a little bit more about our nations.
Yes.
Well, so we prepared traditions and festivities that we want you to know that are really special for us and for our nations and our culture. I'll let you begin.
Okay. So let's start with our tradition and culture. Here, Lenka, in the Philippines, we really have high respect for our elderly.
Wow.
Because that's like part of our identity. And I was raised by my grandmother back then. So I
Wow.
really have this heart towards old people. So here we have, I'm going to discuss the first tradition that we have. It is saying po or opo. Po or opo. So for
Po or
example, if you're
opo.
talking to somebody who is older than you put po in your sentence. So for example, Mom, I'm home. That's in English. So we say it here in the Philippines, Ma, nandito na po ako. So that's how we do that. So
Okay.
it's also like paying respect to old people. And another one, it's actually similar. The goal is to also pay respect. Um, we do mano. We call it mano, or some people would call it bless, mano or bless. So what we have
Okay.
is that, for example, if you are the younger one and you meet your grandmother, your grandfather, or somebody who's older than you, what you're gonna do is that you're gonna hold their hand and you're gonna put it in your forehead when you meet them.
Ah,
Yes.
that's
So
cool.
it's also a tradition up until now that younger Filipinos do. And the last one that I'm gonna discuss is bayanihan. I repeat, bayanihan. It comes from a root word bayan, means community or nation.
Okay.
So way back then, a few years ago, in the Philippines, we have most of the Filipinos live in nipa huts. So,
Okay.
bahay kubo, we call that kubo, bahay kubo, nipa huts. So, actually, you can transfer that from one location to another way back then. So, if you want to live through the shore, you can do that. If you want to live in the farm, you can do that. All you need to do is to literally transfer the house. Yes. So, what happens back then is that it takes 14 to 18 people to carry that house. So, for most of the time, it's your neighbors who's gonna help you. So, when you say bayanihan, it's like the culture of helping one another. And you don't expect anything in return. So that is the concept of bayanihan. So now, of course, for most for most of the houses here, it's now concrete. So you don't need to lift it. But we still have the spirit of bayanihan in calamities, in tragedies like fire. You can see that people are trying to be more involved in the situation, trying to help. So that is, yeah, the three cultures that we have. Again, saying po or opo. Number two, doing mano. And the last one is the spirit of bayanihan.
Oh
So
my
now
God.
let's go to, I want to know your culture there in Bolivia.
Okay, well, the first one, like I have it right here because I have pictures, but I didn't know actually how to show them to you. The first one is called Chaya.
Ah, yeah.
The Chaya is a celebration in honor to Pachamama. Pachamama is Mother Earth. Here in Bolivia, we have this huge respect for Mother Earth. And all the indigenous people, they always are talking and making us reflect about the value of Earth and our Mother Earth and nature and animals and all of this. So we chaya, we do the chaya when we want to show respect for Mother Earth and also to bless what we have received and to thank for the things that are coming. How do we do the chaya? We pour alcohol into the floor, into the earth. We pour alcohol and also flowers, petals of flowers, and also coca leaf. The coca leaf is super important for thanking Pachamama for everything we got and everything we are going to get. That's a tradition in order to say thank you to Mother Earth. The other one is called it's like a pilgrimage. Every single state has like a specific type of pilgrimage, but all of them to the main sanctuary of each state. For example, here in Santa Cruz, the city where I live in, the pilgrimage is to Cotoca, that is a sanctuary in honor to Virgin Mary from Cotoca. But the biggest one is Urcupiña, that is also for Virgin Mary, but from Urcupiña. And all of these sanctuaries are mostly dedicated to Virgin Mary, but from different apparitions, I mean, that people tell. And all of these things are super traditional for us to march down in groups and thank for everything we had. And the last one I would love for you I would love to introduce for all of these amazing people that is looking at us, is the tradition of alacitas. Alacitas is actually a festivity in which people buy mini models of things they want to get or achieve. For example, if I want to graduate from university this year, I'm going to go to the festivity of Alacitas that is once a year, and I'm going to buy a mini model of a university title with my career on it.
Oh.
And if I want to buy a house or if I want to get my house done this year, I'm gonna buy a mini model of a house and I'm gonna make it list so I can achieve this or I can get this through the year. It's really cool.
Wow, that's so nice. You know what? I'd like to believe in those things because way back then, I had this vision board. It's like all the things that I want to achieve, I'm going to put it there. So it's like you're asking the universe to give it to you, right? So that's
Exactly.
so cool.
And it's amazing because in this Alacita's celebration, we join together to also eat with the family, and you can see huge groups of families going through this it's kind of a carnival like a fair, and everyone is walking together. And also if you want to get married, you can get like a fake marriage license that is also a small, a mini model of a marriage license. Everything but like a small, really small.
Oh, that's so nice. I need to try that once I'm in Bolivia. Hopefully, I can
What do
visit
you
your
want?
country when everything
I
is
can get it from Lydia to you and give it to you in
happening.
May.
Yes. Speaking of festivities, I just want to add that actually here in the Philippines, we are composed of different islands, actually with different languages, different cultures and tradition, and we have different festivities that we celebrate every year. And in my hometown, in Iloilo, we do have this Dinagyang festival. Dinagyang. Yes, it
Okay.
means actually merry making. So what we do, there are street dances, we have food festivities along roads, along the streets, and it's really like a week celebration. And the goal of this festivity is to celebrate our identity as Filipinos. Because Lenka, we've been colonized by different countries back then. It's been quite so long. That's why we want to really celebrate who we are, our origin, our forefathers. So that is the essence of Dinagyang. Actually, in my hometown, we call it Dinagyang. In places like Cebu, it's like an island, a different island. They call that Sinulog Festival. So some
Oh,
same essence, similar. It's like a similar festivity. They call that ati-atihan.
wow.
So that's how we do it here in the Philippines. So hopefully it actually happens every January. So hopefully when
Wow.
everything is okay, you can come here. I'm gonna bring you to
Oh,
Iloilo
I would love
for
to.
you to experience Dinagyang.
I would love to. And you know what? I adore the fact that you are always honoring your identity and like you're always working really hard to get it right now, to be with it in you. That's something we fight a lot. Identity is not easy, especially when you have so much diversity. You know what people has been telling me these days, like you're going to have a life with Philippines, that's amazing. And they always said this: the best beaches are in El Nido.
Palawan. Yes, that's true. Are you a beach person?
Yes, I love it.
You know what, Lenka? I'm guilty of this. There's a lot of beautiful islands here in the Philippines, but I've been to some because I don't know how to swim. I mean, I'm scared of waters. I wasn't trained to.
Really?
Yeah. And I remember back then when I was young. This is a funny story because can you imagine? It's low tide, so the water is kind of far, and my mother would panic every time she would see us there. And actually the water
Yeah.
level is up until my knee only, but she was already panicking, so I didn't get the chance to really learn how to swim.
Oh, you'll do it. Come on, it's never late. And I mean, you can always navigate. People have been
Yes.
telling me that Philippines is such an amazing nation, and they have all of these
Yes.
islands, amazing beaches, and wonderful food. I mean, I just want to be there. I want to go right now. And as
You
you were saying,
should. You should visit my country.
you should come to
Yeah.
Bolivia
I
too.
just want to ask. I just want to ask Lenka. Do you also have plenty of beaches there in your country?
No, we do not have an out for the sea. We are Mediterranean. We are actually
Okay.
the heart of South America. We are just in the
Okay.
middle. There's a beautiful phrase we like really much here in Bolivia. We are the heart of South America, the place where all roots get together. Everything gets together in Bolivia. Everything got connected in Bolivia. We have Brazil one side, we have Peru on the other side, we have Chile, Argentina, Paraguay, and we are just there. We are everything in one place,
In
just
the
in the
center.
middle. It's amazing.
Oh,
And the thing I love the most about my nation is that we have everything. We have mountains, we have snow, we have jungle, we have the Amazon forest, we have also all of these mines, we have all of these places with amazing food. Cochabamba, that is one state of Bolivia, has the best food around. If you are going to go to Cochabamba, you have to go there to eat. And one thing I love about food, there is this festivity in which food has meanings. It's
oh,
called Todos Santos, All Saints
Topaz.
in English, All Saints, and we are celebrating and we are remembering the ones that already left us. We are remembering all our people, our family, and in this celebration you go to the cemetery and you put a table, and on this table you put the favorite food of the one that left, and also you put other type of food that is going to help them come visit you. This celebration is on November, just when I mean, they go to the cemetery and they put, for example, sugar canes. So the deceased can carry water through the beyond. We also put these like soft cakes so the deceased can come softly to the land of the living and visit the family. It is amazing, and everything you put in the table that is food, that is eatable, has a meaning, a special meaning for the one that is coming to visit us. That is what All Saints is about. And my favorite one is always going to be Carnival.
Yeah.
Carnival In Carnival here, we almost always and almost every single stage make parades in which people dances, traditional and folkloric dances from Bolivia. And what I like about Carnival is that we are always remembering our roots. All of these dances and all of these folkloric meanings come back from history, from all of our history. And for example, the state of Oruro has this amazing parade, and on 2008, I think, it was declared human heritage by UNESCO. It's huge and beautiful, and everything is so shiny, and everyone is wearing these amazing costumes. You need to come to Bolivia for Carnival. It's wonderful.
Actually, I've seen some of the footages of your celebration, and I can say it's really amazing. I remember I would see girls wearing like fantasy bras, like Victoria's Secret angels, and you guys have amazing bodies. I admit,
Oh,
like the build that you have, you guys look like Victoria's Secret angels. God love you.
well, that part of the carnival, that parade with this, I think there are fantasy costumes referring to birds. are most
Yeah.
common here in Santa Cruz and Beni, that is another state, because we almost always honor birds and palmyra trees. But yes, I mean, if one day you want to come, you're more than welcome.
Oh, I will. And again, that was my promise earlier. I'm gonna bring you here in the Philippines. You need to try everything here in the Philippines.
You know, Gloria Mariana, that is from Promociones Gloria, she's basically my coach, was telling me that the footage you saw was from Boulevard Carnaval. That is like a fashion show referring to Carnival that the agency in charge of Miss Bolivia's University every year to show beauty and also culture. That's
Wow.
cool.
Are you excited with your national costume? Let's talk about our national costume.
Oh, you know what? I haven't seen it. I'm supposed to be seeing and trying out my costume tomorrow in the morning. So I think I'm not gonna be able to sleep because it is such an amazing work. And you know, I specifically talked with the artisan because he was really excited for this. And yes, I think it is going to be amazing. And it was sewed by hand.
Yeah.
It will be amazing. And you, how about you?
Actually, Lenka, the designer of my national costume passed away two
Oh
days
my
ago.
God.
Yes. And for the past few years, for most of our representatives, they are wearing this Filipiniana terna. So here in the Philippines, most of the ladies are modest. So that's like part of our virtue, our identity. But this time, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be festive, colorful, and a bit sexier. So I'm gonna show some skin. That's just
Wow.
like some few details about my national costume. And actually, I'm not yet sure. I haven't fit it yet. But I'm very excited because Filipinos are very into pageants. I can say that
Yes, I
we are the
know.
biggest fans in the whole wide world. As you can see, everyone wants to help me in this journey, and I'm very lucky to have the type of system at my back. So I'm hoping that in the coming days, I will be able to see the national costume and
Wow.
just a clue. It's bringing like giving thank you or saying thank you to my identity as a Filipino in a sexy way, something
Wonderful.
like
Won-
that.
Wonderful. I love it. You know, I think it is really important for us to feel comfortable and to reflect what we are in every single outfit we will be using for Miss Universe. That's something I feel from the bottom of my heart. Like we have to reflect our personality, and that's what we are doing. I'm really excited actually about my gown, my gala gown. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, it is so shiny. This is all
Oh,
me. It's so perfect. Oh,
lucky
I
you.
can't
I
wait.
haven't seen my gown yet. I know a lot of Filipinos are really um they really want to know what I'm gonna wear, the color, the cut, but
That
I still have
happened.
no idea. So, but the good thing is I have this open communication with my designer.
Oh,
So I
really?
would tell him what I want, what I don't like, because you're right, Lenka. Like what you've said earlier, we really need to be involved in this journey because it's gonna be us representing ourselves on that stage. So if we don't feel beautiful, we don't feel comfortable in what we wear, it's gonna show in our performance.
Yes.
So it's very hard actually to really find what you really want with all the voices that you hear, with all the opinions that you should be this, you should be that.
Oh
And
my God.
to be honest, Lenka, for some time I lost my identity in this journey.
I feel
You know,
you. I feel you,
as
sister.
as a candidate, sometimes there were moments where you don't know who to listen to or what to do, but you really need to reflect on it in order for you to have a vision. Okay, this is what I want. This is who I am. Because the moment that you pattern yourself into somebody else's shoes, you know, that's not gonna be you. And in
Yes,
Miss Universe, they want us to be authentic. And
that's true.
even though you're not perfect, even though you have your insecurities, that is the essence actually of having pageants like this. It's not showing perfection, it's showing diversity. It shows the cultural differences that we have and celebrating who we are as women, right?
You know what? I felt the same. I feel you, sister. I was there too, and I believe most of the candidates that are representing their nations felt like that or are feeling like that. It is really hard to work when you have so many voices around you. And it is a blessing to be supported, to be loved by your people. But it is actually really hard to deal with all of the opinions because we want to make it good. We want our people to feel happy, to have us
Yes.
as friends. Yes, it is hard. And well, we are talking about our people and everything we have been going through. What about social work? I want you
Okay.
to tell us about your social labor because I loved it, but I'm sure everyone wants to listen from you.
Yes. Lenka, to give you a background, I'm actually a licensed physical therapist. I've said
Yes.
it earlier. But I didn't go into clinics.
Okay.
Instead, I went into academe. I teach. So,
Okay.
the thing is, when I started teaching, people were starting to question me because first I was so young. I was 21 years old when I started teaching, and my students are same age as mine. So can you
Okay.
imagine the struggle, the challenge of trying to uplift myself and trying to gain the respect of my students? But I'm very passionate about educating people. It's because I came from nothing. I'm a self-made individual, Lenka. I was raised by a single mother, and you know how hard it is here in the Philippines when you only have one parent. So back then I remember I have no like money to go to school. I only walk from my home up until school. But my mom would always tell me that if you have big dreams, then you're gonna put your heart into it. You can achieve everything in life. So I believed in her. That became my mission and vision, even though I'm still young. And I really poured my heart into studying. I sacrificed, watching TV, going to parties. My mind was into investing in myself. And then when I graduated college, I actually graduated cum laude. I gave the speech on behalf of the graduates. And there, I was able to thank my mother. And I realized that that was the moment in which I can deliver a message to everybody to touch their hearts and make them realize that once you are being educated, that is a privilege given to you to be a better person, to actually fulfill your dreams.
Yes.
So you should really do your best in trying to surpass that. What here in the Philippines, it's only 4 years in college, 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
So it's nothing compared to the joy that you're gonna have after surpassing those years. So once you're a professional, you will be able to help your family first. You're gonna be able to touch different people to change their perspective. So it's all about giving back and paying forward. That's why I became very passionate about education.
Wow.
And now actually I was given the title as the ambassador for education here in my country. And
Wow.
I've been visiting different places all over the Philippines because I have this series. I made a series in which I want to show people the different stories of challenges and struggles, but they choose to love their studies. So I actually had my episode one, my first episode, and it's on YouTube right now. Because these are the stories that gives motivation, that brings, hope to different homes. Because there are people who are privileged enough.
Yes.
They already have the chance of educating themselves, but they don't put their heart into it. So it's like a waste of time and a waste of money because they don't value education the way, poor people does.
That's
So
something
that's
that,
my goal. Actually, that is my goal now, to open the eyes of people how education can transform your life.
you know, when I just finished university. And when I was on college and at school, even at school, for me, it felt really painful. People not actually using that privilege that education is. And well, my project comes back when I was little. When I was 3 years old, my father suffered two strokes the same month, and he got really, really sick, and half of his body got with this difficult to move. My father is an architect, and he is supposed to be moving a lot for his work. When my father got sick, he was recovering, and my mother and him got divorced. My mother left to another city. I lived with her for over 2 years. Then I went back with my father because I have this special bond with him. And as time passed by, I never fully realized what my father was going through. And the past years, until I turned 16 or 17, I could actually see everything he went through. And it was really hard
Oh,
because
you're
I
making me
never,
cry.
no, don't cry, don't cry. I never fully realized his effort. And I remember that once he was trying to get job because people discriminated him so much. This is kind of hard, but people said things like, "I'm not going to give job to an architect that isn't able to work to build my house because he's not gonna make it okay." And through time, he began this process in which he started to cultivate at home, not only because it was a release for our economic situation, but because it was healing his soul. And last year, because of COVID crisis, I was fully alone on my apartment with my cat. He's amazing, my cat. I love my cat, but I was lonely. I was really lonely. And I started to plant at my garden. I started to cultivate because I remembered my father did this. And when I got everything I wanted from my garden, I started to just giving it to my neighbors because I knew everyone was lacking food. And they were like, why are you gifting food if we are on the middle of an economic and pandemic crisis? And I was like, I cultivated them at home. It was nothing for me, but I know it is going to be huge for you because we are all in a really hard situation. And they were like, teach us. And we all started to cultivate. And in this process, a lot of families joined in, and we started just switching products from all of us and from all of the neighborhood. And it was amazing because there was people that had nothing to eat. It was like a condemn to death because of hunger. And there's when I understood that we live the same. I remembered we live the same and how hard it was for my family and that I needed to do something. And that's where I began this process of planting all over the city urban orchards so everyone can actually eat without worrying. And when you have something to eat, you are actually able to break the poverty cycle And that's how my project was born.
Oh, that's so nice. And you know what, Lenka? As a physical therapist, I also have patients who suffered from stroke. So I do understand the situation of your dad. That's why, sorry if I'm being emotional, but I
So
know how hard it is. And you're a great daughter. He raised you to be a strong woman, and thank you so much for giving back those experiences, those lessons that you had back then to other people. So
thanks a lot
yeah,
for your
thank you
empathy.
for sharing your story. We need to hear this kind of story because it gives hope. And actually, in partnership with what you said, actually we have the same goal. That is to conquer poverty. Your ways is, to feed people, to feed their stomach, to feed their minds.
And you're
And
feeding.
yeah, and in my case, it's educating them. It's giving them the weapons that they need to conquer life. So these are different stories, but we have the same goal, and that is to make this world a better place for everybody. And actually, that is the kind of support that we need to give to one another, because women have so much to offer to everybody. It's just they don't receive much of support system from other people. So to all of our viewers right here, if you have a story and there's something that you are really passionate about, share it to people. It actually starts with small things, and then other people can relate to you. That's when you become influential to others as well.
Not only that, if you have a story and if you want to do something, you just have to take the first step and everything. And as you walk through the process of helping others, through making your dreams come true, one day you're going to look behind and say, oh my God, I did all of that. You are not going to believe how far you got. But it's just taking the decision and the first step, and that's all. I believe we as human beings are really powerful because we have not only this conscious and this power to actually be rationate, but we have the power of modifying our reality. And that's what actually the lockdown remembered us. We are able to transform every single situation we are in. And the world has changed, and we are too. So this is the moment in which you have to take this step in order to change the society, the place you are in, for it to be better. I'm with you in this one. You're amazing, Rabiya. Thank you so much. And I told you, I don't know if you listened, like, because internet is so bad. But thank you so much for your empathy. I mean, it is so important for my family, for my project, for my people to tell this story, because my father is my north, and he's always gonna be. I always say my crown is 80% his. I'm everything I
Oh.
am because of him, and I owe him everything from my life. And yes, I was raised by a single man too.
We have this common denominator. We
Yeah,
have single
and
parents.
but it's amazing. And as we end this live, because we have 7 minutes left, and I can't believe how fast everything just went through. I wanted to ask you to tell everyone something that you think it is super special and important for them to know, because I know they are listening.
To all of our viewers right now, thank you so much for giving your time and effort just to see me and Lenka today. I hope that you guys are safe. Always remember to look after your physical and also your mental health as well, because dealing with all of this is really hard. And trust me, we've been through the same process, through the same situation in which sometimes you feel lost, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to control your life anymore. But always stick to your core. Always know your purpose in life. And once you have your identity back, do something that would help other people. Be a blessing to those people because you have your strength. You have your strength, and you should highlight that always. And change happens once you have a different perspective of life. So instead of dealing with the negativities, always remember that life doesn't get easier, but you get stronger. So you need to embrace all of your imperfections, embrace all the negativities, but do not deal with it. Instead, highlight who you are, what you can offer to this world, because you are amazing. Always remember that. And to all the Filipinos watching right here, thank you so much for supporting me. It's like 2 months and 15 days from now, Miss Universe is gonna happen, and I'm doing my job as your representative. I've been pouring my heart into this competition, and hopefully, I make you all proud. I love you all. Palangga ako kamutanan.
We forgot the phrases. Good morning, good night. I love you,
Yeah.
and thank you.
Yes. So let's make it quick. How do you say
Let's
I
make
love
it quick.
you? How do you
Te
say I love
amo.
you there?
Te
Te
amo.
amo. Here in my own dialect in Hiligaynon, we say it palangga taka.
Balangata ka?
Palangga taka. Yes.
Okay. Good morning, buenos días,
Buenos dias here. Magandang umaga.
maganda umaga, and
Yes,
good
magandang umaga.
evening,
Magandang gabi.
magandang
Gabi.
gabi. Here it
Okay.
is, buenas noches,
Buenas noches.
and
Okay.
I love you. It was thank you,
Thank
gracias.
you. Gratias. Here it's salamat. Salamat, Lenka. I think now it's your turn to give your final message to all of our viewers here.
Well, for everyone that has been here with us through all of this process and through all of this life too, I just want to say thank you. You know how honored I am to be representing my nation, and how honored I feel to be here with Rabiya, that is such an amazing queen. I really hope to be able to one day visit Philippines. I know Filipino people are really amazing fans of pageants, and I think this is amazing because you are embracing your culture by supporting your representative, and that's huge for all of us because we as queens are nothing without our people, without our organization. I wanted to thank your organization, Miss Universe Philippines, for this live, for letting me talk to you, and for having this amazing conversation, for getting to know you better, and also to Promociones Gloria for this amazing connection we have. And well, remember all of us that you are not alone. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling sad, even if you are living through a really hard situation at home, you will always have us. I always said this. I'm always answering messages. If you need just to tell me something that you are going through, I'm always going to answer, and I'm always going to help. I'm going to be for you. And if I am not, I know there's a friend or someone in your life. So we are always here to help. And I really hope you like this live. Thank you everyone so much. All my love all the way to Philippines.
Uh, Back to Olivia. The
To
love of the
Bolivia.
Filipino community is something that I really treasure. And I know, Lenka, that you have a lot of supporters here in my country because you're such an amazing woman. And again, thank you so much for giving some time in knowing me better, not just as a candidate, not just as a co-candidate, but as your Miss Universe sister. You're so beautiful, you're so gorgeous, and I can't wait to see you soon. It's gonna be soon.
Please. I cannot wait to see you in person. If someone just runs and hug you like, Ramina, it's going to be me. Going
That's
to be
even
me
more
because I'm always like
surprise.
that.
Oh my God. Then thank you so much. Thank you to your organization. And I think it's about to end. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you so much for
Bye,
watching.
everyone.